Today is the 18th and I just officially, almost an hour and a half ago, I officially did my big November shop launch, and it was a little stressful, very crazy, because I was supposed to have a work meeting at 3 p.m. today, and I had set my shop launch to go off at 2 p.m. and I had things ready, I had my Shopify website on the computer and I had it password protected, so I was going to get rid of the password at 2. I had scheduled a reel on Instagram to post at 2, and then I was gonna do the same thing with TikTok but do it manually. But then the meeting coordinator had moved up my meeting from 3 p.m. to 2 p.m. so I was especially stressed and I was sweating. I was like, oh my god, so I have to be ready for my presentation at the meeting at 2 at the same time that I would be advertising that I have my shop update and it's now live, and submitting my reels and the hashtags and all of that. It was crazy. And I feel like it's like 3:30 now, almost 3:30, and my brain is still it feels like there are a lot of flies buzzing around in my brain, and I'm just like, am I done? Is this done? Have I advertised everywhere that I need to be? And I think I got everything done. I was looking at everything. There were some things that I didn't put in the new arrivals category because I have a collection just for when I do new products, so that way people could find out what's new and what's not. So there were some things missing there and I just added those on, but I think I'm officially good. I think I'm going to take a break from doing anything new, drawing anything new, thinking of anything new for the next few days, or maybe the next week or so. I'm gonna take a break, but I feel like I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, I don't know how my brain is going to handle this because I have been spending the last month or a couple weeks really just trying to work. I got so much done. It's crazy. And I'm glad and I'm thankful, but it's not sustainable to do all the time, and I know that. And I shouldn't have waited, I guess, until the last few weeks to do this. With preparing things for reels, preparing an email to go off at 2 p.m. as well, and then just uploading the products the past 2 days. So I shouldn't have waited, and I'm still trying to figure it out. It's just, I don't know. I'm not so much a procrastinator, but also at the same time I kind of am. I do this last minute and I don't know why, but I'm gonna have a hard time I don't know, just chilling out. I think I'll still doodle for fun, but yeah, nothing really with the intention of let's make a new product. I'm just glad that it's over. I'm glad that the shop update is done, which, by the way, I do have a promotion. If you spend $20 or more from now until December 2nd, which is I think a Monday, so you have 2 weeks approximately. I'm filming this on the 18th, so it's 2 weeks from now. But until December 2nd, if you spend $20 or over at my shop, you can get a free sticker sheet, which I will post a picture of here or here, only while supplies last, of course. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of document and film the aftermath of the shop update. I'm just really tired now, but I also still have some more work to do, work, not small business shop work. But as far as anything new, I'm not gonna post any new products or brainstorm for it.
But related to the shop update launch that I just had earlier today, I wanted to take the rest of this time to quickly kind of do a look back or retrospective. I don't really know if that's the word, but looking back at the shop update that I just launched, to pick it apart and see what areas I could improve in, because the past 2 or 3 days were definitely a lot more hectic than the past month or two that I have been working on the merch itself. and I definitely know that I didn't need to be this stressed the past few days. So what are the things that I could improve on? Just want to kind of document my journey and see if there are ways that I could improve the next shop update, which is probably going to be next year. And maybe you guys will also take something away from it, or maybe you can also educate me and the other viewers and recommend something that works for you when you do product launches. I would say I have been planning for all of this merchandise for the past 1 or 2 months, but the crunch time was really the last 2 to 3 days when I was scrambling to upload everything into my Shopify website, which is a huge no-no. I definitely should be allotting at least 1 week to do that. So I already know that I'm in the wrong for doing that. But also, I believe it took me a couple days to fully make the products, which I saved for last. And then of course needing to photograph all of the items after they were done being made. If you watched my previous video, you'll know that I tried to design and print and fill out these content calendars. I also made one for product launches and just product designs. I tried really hard to adhere to the deadlines that I did write on the calendar. I definitely was not able to finish making the products by the dates that I did set on the calendar, and one of the toughest things for me to actually finish during this product update were the gift tags. They actually came to me early as an inspiration, and I knew I wanted to make gift tags for this shop update, but for some reason I designed it and I just really wasn't happy with it. It actually took me like 3 or 4 iterations to get it to where I was like still like I wasn't thrilled about it, but I was okay enough to release it as a product. So I would say in total the gift tags actually took me a whole week or maybe a week and a half to adjust and iterate until it got to that point where I was okay with it. The rest of the products came to me easily though, and I was able to knock them out pretty quickly. But I guess one of my mistakes here with the shop update was that I kept designing different products, and I stored them on my tablet, but I did not make any of them into a physical product until probably like the last week, maybe a week and a half before the product or shop update was set to launch. And that was kind of where I spent all day printing and cutting and doing everything and packaging everything as well. And that probably took longer than I thought it would take. Okay, actually, I'm really guilty for this huge mistake, and that is not settling on a date for the product launch until it was close. I will admit I did not think of a hard date until maybe a week or 2 weeks before. I guess that is something that I tend to do because I keep trying to think of new products, and I'm trying to like basically hoard inventory if I can and ideas so I can make it a big shop launch. But then the problem is I'm making so much work for myself, and I also decide so late. By the time I decided, it was already mid-November, but I knew back in October that I wanted to do some sort of like some sale or product launch during Black Friday and close to like early December. So yeah, don't do what I did and decide like 1 to 2 weeks prior to the date. You should definitely set your eyes to a date months earlier.
So with that said, I think for the next time I do a shop update, I'm going to try to do a couple different things, maybe see how it goes and try to be a little more intentional about it. One of the things being that I should plan products a little better. I tend to work from inspiration, so things will come at me randomly. So I'll have inspiration sometimes for a sticker sheet, or I'll make a bunch of random relatable stickers and then make those. And what I usually tend to do with shop updates is I will collect the amount of finished ideas that I have, maybe collect at least 3 to 4 before I say I'll do a shop launch, and then I'll kind of give an estimate. Usually it's like a week after I finished creating them digitally, and I'll say that I'm doing a shop launch. I actually don't tend to announce my shop launches ahead of time nowadays, because usually I found that when I first advertise them, a lot of people get excited about it and they get hyped up, but once I actually announce the day that they do launch and that they're ready for people to pick up and buy, nobody actually buys. I found sometimes that it's actually better for me to announce things the day of when they are already launched, so people can get excited about it and they're easy and they're already available for people to go and buy if they really wanted to, because I guess that is when the impulse to buy it is really strong. But regardless, I think I should keep trying to plan things out and maybe tease things out and announce it for a longer period of time. Maybe 1 week notice in advance is not enough. With Instagram nowadays, I don't really know how the algorithm works. Some people will see my posts the day of, and some people will not see my post until 3 days later. So I guess maybe I need to kind of give a longer running time and market it a lot more, which definitely is not my strong suit either, but that is something that I've been trying to work on and improve. But yeah, number 1 would probably be to plan products better, maybe make them more related. Like for example, I'm going to be making something that is, I don't know, fruits themed. So my shop update in the future is going to revolve around this fruits theme, whether it's like fruit sticker sheets, fruit notepads, sticky notes, etc. Number 2, I find this really hard to do, and I don't usually do this, but I will try in the future. I'm going to set a hard date and commit to that date. Again, I'm the type of person to hoard all that stuff, and if I'm in the middle of drawing like a sticker sheet idea and I want it to be a part of the shop update, I'm going to push the shop update until I'm done with everything. So in the future, if I don't know, I designed the Winter Wonderland sticker sheet and I got to design the Hanukkah cats, and I was able to make both of those fine, but I was in the middle of making the cozy drinks sticker sheet still. I think I'm just going to have to, like, you know, face it and just wait for the next shop update to post the cozy drinks sticker sheet, because I think that is also what messes me up. I am constantly pushing dates to try to fit all of the products that I am making. One of the reasons why I see this happening with my shop updates as well, especially lately, is because I've been designing a bunch of seasonal items. So obviously the seasons are changing and it's not always going to be summer or fall or winter, so you need to keep up with the times. And because I am designing a lot of stuff that are seasonal, nobody wants it after the season is over, I am trying to constantly push the boundary with like what things I can make to try to entice people to, like, you know, hey, come take a look at my products, come and explore my website, and I don't know, buy something that I just made that's brand new and seasonal, which is what I think perpetuates my issue of constantly pushing the deadlines. I'm always wanting to make more stuff. So yeah, number 2, I am going to set a hard date and try to commit to it. Also, kind of on a side note, I think I wouldn't be as pressured to make a deadline like if I wasn't designing a lot of seasonal items. And this was actually a poll that I put on my Instagram stories as well as threads to see if people prefer like non-seasonal things over seasonal stationery and stickers, or if people loved both. And there were a lot of people that actually voted that, well, either they loved both or they liked non-seasonal items. And actually now, as a product business and an illustrator and a product maker, I can see the benefit of designing things that are not seasonal. If I was to design something that revolved around doing house chores, or like motivational quotes, or something actually functional for a bullet journal or a calendar or planner of some sort. And I missed the deadline for, X shop update for, I don't know, January or February. It's not really so much a problem, and I could just push it off to the next month because it is something that people could use year round. So I'm definitely going to be looking into making more things that are non-seasonal. I just love Christmas and I love, fall so much. I think I got swept up by, just the seasonal hype. So I'm going to try to make a more conscious effort to design less of those things, more evergreen / year-round type products. And number 3, the thing that I'm going to try to do as well for my future shop updates is to factor in time to make the products and photograph the products. It's a little different if you are outsourcing your products. You actually probably have to factor in more time to do that. But for me, I tend to factor in making the products and photographing them all together, and it's not enough time. I say I give myself a couple of days, maybe 2 or 3 days, when I should probably be more generous and give myself, say, 1 week to make all of the products, and then another week to photograph and upload them to my shop. That is also another thing that I forget. It is so tedious to upload them, to touch up the photos, and then transfer it from my tablet to my computer to my hard drive where all of my product photos are stored, upload them to Shopify, change the description out and make sure like the SKUs are in place and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like small logistics that happen behind the scenes that I tend to forget. That is something that is also really important that often screws me over because I fail to consider those things into like my timeline for shop updates. I think what would be helpful for me as well in the future when setting shop updates is to work backwards. So if I have picked a date for when my shop update is going to be, I can work backwards and say I'm going to spend 1.5 weeks marketing my upcoming shop update, allot 3 days for myself to create the email newsletter that is going to accompany this shop update when it launches, and then I'm also going to allot myself a full 7 days of photographing those products. Before that, I'm also going to allot myself another full 7 days, 1 week to make all of the products. So then from there, as I work backwards, I can kind of see when I'm supposed to have all of my products ready. And if I don't have everything ready, then it is what it is. And from there, I also have to make sure that I know exactly what products I'm going to be making for that shop product. So again, going with the example of making a fruit themed shop update, if I plan to make 1 sticker sheet, 1 notepad, and 1 sticker, then I can actually think about it and as far as the complexities go and see how long I would probably need to take for something like that. So for a sticker sheet, maybe I would need 1.5 weeks to make that. Maybe a sticker, I could give myself 3 days. For a memo pad, I could give myself 1 week. And I'm giving myself some cushion there as well, just to make sure if something happens similar to the gift tags that I recently made where I'm like not really into it, then I have some wiggle room to kind of adjust things as I go. So I think that seems to be a good idea in my head right now. I haven't decided what I'm going to make my next shop update be about yet, but once I do figure it out, I would like to make a video of that as well. So it is kind of like a more practical / concrete and tangible timeline to make an example out of. I hope most, if not all of that made sense. Like I said, I'm trying to document this journey. Usually I will say I don't have much luck with shop updates, and that is really unfortunate. But obviously as a small business owner, I always am trying to look for ways to grow and improve whatever I'm doing. So I think it's really helpful to kind of look back at the recent shop update that I did. So those are kind of like my learning takeaways. Hopefully it made sense to you, and maybe it is helpful for you to also think about for your own shop updates if you do them. If there's anything that you do that works really well that you can recommend, please definitely leave it in the comments below. But I think for now, just acknowledging mentally that I need to allot for all of these, each of these steps is a step in the right direction already. So yeah, that's all I wanted my video to be about today. Sorry if the content is a little dry, but I think it's also important to kind of recognize these smaller, more boring aspects of business. But thank you if you made it this far in watching. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. It'll be Thanksgiving, so I don't know what kind of content I'll be making, but I'll probably have a video for Thanksgiving. So thank you, and I'll see you next week. Bye!